Jordan Peterson, a polarizing figure in the realm of psychology and cultural commentary, has long been a lightning rod for debates that merge ideology, social norms, and personal responsibility. When Peterson appeared on The View, a show renowned for its combative discussions and strong personalities, the stage was set for an intellectual clash that captivated audiences. His exchange with Sunny Hostin, one of the show's most outspoken panelists, was particularly memorable. The tension and vigor of their debate illuminated not only their differing worldviews, but also highlighted the broader cultural battles being fought in contemporary discourse. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. Sunny Hostin, known for her incisive commentary and commitment to progressive ideals, often represents a segment of the public concerned with systemic injustices and advocating for inclusion. Jordan Peterson, in contrast, has built his reputation on challenging the assumptions underpinning those very ideologies. His focus on personal responsibility, hierarchies, and the interplay of order and chaos frequently positions him as a counterpoint to popular progressive narratives. This fundamental ideological clash fueled their interaction, making it both fiery and substantive. The exchange began innocuously enough, with Hostin posing a question that initially seemed geared toward exploring Peterson's perspectives. However, it quickly became apparent that her approach was less about seeking insight and more about challenging the core of his philosophy. Hostin pressed Peterson on his views regarding gender dynamics, identity politics, and societal structures, areas where their beliefs diverged dramatically. Her arguments emphasized collective accountability and systemic change, while Peterson's responses underscored individual agency and the unintended consequences of certain progressive policies. What elevated the discussion was not just the content, but the dynamics of their interaction. Hostin's questions were pointed and impassioned, embodying a frustration shared by many who view Peterson as dismissive of systemic inequities. Peterson, however, met her intensity with a calm, measured tone that, while occasionally cutting, carried an undercurrent of intellectual rigor. This contrast created a sense of drama, as viewers were drawn into the collision of these two distinct rhetorical styles. Peterson's ability to dissect Hostin's arguments with precision was a defining feature of the exchange. For instance, when she critiqued his stance on the importance of hierarchies, framing them as inherently oppressive, Peterson reframed the discussion by delving into the evolutionary and practical basis for hierarchical structures. He argued that hierarchies are not merely social constructs, but arise organically in both human and animal societies. While this perspective didn't align with Hostin's emphasis on dismantling systemic power imbalances, it showcased Peterson's knack for grounding abstract debates in empirical observations, a strength that often disarms his critics. One of the most striking moments came when Hostin questioned Peterson's views on gender identity and pronoun usage, an issue that has frequently placed him at the center of controversy. Hostin articulated the importance of respect and recognition for marginalized groups, pointing out the harm caused by dismissive attitudes. Peterson, in turn, articulated his concern with compelled speech and the broader implications of legislating language. His argument wasn't merely a rejection of progressivism, but a deep-seated concern about the precedent such measures could set for free expression. This philosophical framing elevated the discussion beyond the specific issue at hand, compelling the audience to consider the wider implications. Despite their differences, the debate wasn't devoid of moments where their shared humanity was evident. Hostin's passion for justice and Peterson's dedication to fostering individual resilience occasionally converged, albeit briefly, in mutual acknowledgement of the complexity of societal issues. However, these moments of overlap were fleeting, as the fundamental chasm between their ideologies ultimately defined the exchange. The implications of this interaction are manifold. For one, it showcased the enduring value of public intellectual debates in an era often dominated by soundbites and echo chambers. Peterson and Hostin, for all their differences, engaged in a manner that demanded attention and critical thinking from their audience. While some viewers undoubtedly sided firmly with one or the other, many were likely prompted to reconsider their own positions or at least better understand the nuances of opposing viewpoints. Furthermore, the exchange highlighted the challenges of bridging ideological divides in a deeply polarized cultural landscape. Peterson's insistence on the primacy of individual agency and Hostin's focus on collective responsibility reflect broader tensions that play out across political and social spheres. Their debate underscored the difficulty of reconciling these perspectives, yet it also demonstrated the importance of trying. Even as they sparred, the conversation illuminated the need for dialogue, however uncomfortable, between those who hold fundamentally different worldviews. Another noteworthy implication lies in the power dynamics of such public forums. The View, a show with a predominantly progressive audience, provided a challenging environment for Peterson, whose views often run counter to mainstream narratives. Yet his ability to hold his ground and articulate his positions effectively showcased the resilience of his arguments. For Hostin, the interaction was a reminder of the difficulty of confronting a well-prepared opponent with a robust intellectual framework. While she brought passion and moral clarity to the discussion, Peterson's analytical approach revealed the limitations of emotional appeals when met with precise counter-arguments. The exchange also shed light on the broader cultural role of media platforms like The View. Shows that invite polarizing figures and foster contentious debates play a critical role in shaping public discourse. By hosting Peterson, The View not only exposed its audience to divergent perspectives, but also reinforced the idea that disagreement, even intense disagreement, is an essential part of democratic societies. However, the format of such shows, which often prioritizes entertainment value over depth, can sometimes hinder the potential for truly transformative conversations. In this case, while the interaction was undeniably engaging, the constraints of time and format meant that certain arguments were left underexplored. The broader cultural resonance of this clash cannot be understated. Peterson and Hostin's debate reflected the zeitgeist of a society grappling with profound questions about identity, power, and the nature of progress. Their interaction was emblematic of the struggle to balance competing values: freedom and equality, tradition and innovation, order and change. In this sense, their debate was not just about their personal ideologies, but about the collective reckoning of a society at a crossroads. As the conversation unfolded, it became evident that both Peterson and Hostin were not merely defending their ideas, but also embodying the aspirations and anxieties of their respective audiences. Hostin's advocacy for systemic change resonated with those who feel marginalized and seek greater equity, while Peterson's emphasis on personal responsibility appealed to individuals wary of what they perceive as overreach in progressive policies. This duality added layers to their interaction, transforming it from a mere exchange of ideas into a microcosm of the cultural battles shaping contemporary society. While the immediate aftermath of their debate lies outside the scope of this discussion, the interaction itself offered a rich tapestry of ideas, emotions, and implications. It reminded viewers of the importance of engaging with challenging perspectives, even when they provoke discomfort. It also underscored the enduring relevance of figures like Peterson and Hostin, whose voices catalyzed critical conversations about the direction of society. The interaction between Jordan Peterson and Sunny Hostin on The View offered a unique opportunity to delve deeper into the societal dynamics that fuel contemporary debates. This wasn't merely a clash of personalities, but a profound exploration of competing visions for the future. What made this exchange so riveting wasn't just the sharp arguments or the tension-filled atmosphere, but the way it reflected the broader ideological battle lines being drawn in society. At its core, the debate exposed a key tension: the individual versus the collective. While Peterson has spent years refining his arguments around personal responsibility and self-improvement, Hostin's approach emphasized the need to rectify systemic injustices through collective action. This foundational disagreement wasn't just philosophical, it also shaped their communication styles. Peterson's analytical demeanor, rooted in academic rigor, often contrasted sharply with Hostin's emotive and impassioned rhetoric. This juxtaposition underscored the complexity of bridging divides when the frameworks for understanding issues are so different. One particularly notable aspect of their debate was the role of public perception. Peterson, often framed by critics as a provocateur, used this platform to challenge that perception, demonstrating his capacity for measured, evidence-based argumentation. His focus on the unintended consequences of ideological zeal provided a compelling counterpoint to Hostin's advocacy for systemic change. By emphasizing the importance of understanding the long-term impact of policies and cultural shifts, Peterson pushed the audience to consider not just the immediate moral appeal of progressive ideals, but their broader societal implications. Hostin, meanwhile, brought a sense of urgency to the conversation, highlighting the lived experiences of marginalized groups and the immediate need for change. Her arguments resonated with those who view existing power structures as inherently flawed and see the dismantling of those structures as a moral imperative. However, her emotional appeal also revealed the difficulty of sustaining a detailed critique when faced with Peterson's methodical dissection of ideas. This dynamic revealed an inherent challenge in debates of this nature: the difficulty of balancing moral conviction with intellectual precision in real-time exchanges. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on Jordan Peterson's debate with Sunny Hostin? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.